Base resonator here. I have 4 tray molds. These are more like something you would put in the bathroom, so you can put your toothbrush or shaving stuff on there. These are for more jewelry, dresser top, and this is for even a bigger scenario. I'm going to do something with an ocean vibe, and so I'm going to be using Deep Blue Wonder. Man, I get this shadow going on here. There we are. Deep Blue Wonder by Pigmently. It's a really deep blue. Then along with the Greek Turquoise Pearl, very pretty. And then to add a little bit of contrast, I'm going to be using Eye Candy Dark Ocean Green. So yeah, I'm going to be using those, but I am going to do some waves and use the Let's Resin Ocean White. What I'm going to do, since these are looking downwards, what will be seen is this side when it comes out of the mold. So I'm going to put the waves in first, and I'm just going to use a little bit, mix up very little resin, and put some waves in, blow them out, and then let that cure, and then start coming in with the color of the water around it. And then once the finished product is done, I have some different shells and things that I will embed in and around. So yeah, it's going to be a fun project. Okay, I'm going to pour a little bit of clear down in each of these, and even let it run off the edge, and then I will pour some white. Right along that, and then blow it out. These smaller ones, I'm only going to put 2 lines on them, 2 waves. Make it a little bit thicker here. So it'll blow out better. I'm not too worried about the little drips, because I'm going to be going over this with more resin later. And it'll just absorb those. I'm going to put another little bit here. This bigger one needs more waves, right? As you can see, it's starting to thicken up. So I need to get myself going. Ooh, got some white there. At this point in videos that other people may use, you might start hearing music, but let me talk right here. I'm trying to blow out waves, but I'm finding a little bit of difficulty with the cell action not taking place, and I think it's because of these molds. It was holding on to the pigment and then it was sucking it back to right where it had come from. Didn't let it blow out like normally. So as you can read on the screen, I came up with and in my mind I was thinking, okay, this isn't happening. I'm gonna have to do another pour after I unmold these, because I know I can make the waves happen. This type of pigment paste that I'm using, this Ocean White by Let's Resin, is amazing for doing waves, so and getting the lacing in the cells. So I'm trying here, but I should have just stopped and poured over the top, but I did not. I'm stubborn, and my wife can attest to that. And it looks kind of funny going in fast motion. I don't know if you've ever seen the Three Stooges or the original ones, the black and white, where things move real fast on those old movies. That's what this is reminding me of. I even tried spritzing some alcohol to try and get the cells to happen. No, not working. I'm back. I have decided to add another color to those three, and that's the Let's Resin Seashell. And that'll be sort of like sand. I wondered if I should put sand in there, and I just decided not to do such. You know what? I looked at my cups over here with the mixed up resin, and it was full of bubbles, so I took care of that right now. Now let's pour in some sand on this end. Okay, now we're going with the Greek turquoise. Greek turquoise pearl. Push that sand back. Mr. Sandback. Send me your dream. Boom, 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 boom. Da, 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 da. Yeah, making up tunes as I go. And that's what I do. Okay, now Deep Blue Wonder. And I'm going to come back through here and sort of mix them together. Now I'm going to go very little of this green, dark ocean green, and these two smaller ones, only because I'm running out and I don't want to just put more sand. Yes, I could put more sand if I need to. I didn't calculate that very well. Do I have enough more sand to push it that way? Okay, I could have mixed up a little bit more, it looks like. Now, to try and get this to work, get that to push over. Getting bubbles pop, that's good. Pop the bubble in the ocean. I thought about putting sand in, real sand. But I don't have any good looking sand right now, it's ugly. I think what I'm going to do is use a silicone brush and pull that down over the top, since I'm not able to push this. I don't have a long enough cable on this. Okay. So let's try. Looks like a swipe. Oh, I gotta get rid of that green over here. Now that's gonna rearrange itself as it cures. Those colors will go towards the center. Well, I got that. Actually looks pretty cool. Maybe I'll do that same type of thing over here. This isn't the way I was gonna meld them, but works. Set that down. Now I can, the cable is long enough for me to shoot down from on top. And this helps pop bubbles. There's a bunch of little micro bubbles that I got while I started mixing up the colorants in there. Oh, that was good. Just bashed my head on the tripod. Instead of having that horrible sound of the heat gun going and drowning your ears, I thought I'd just go ahead and talk this over. I was trying to get that pattern happening, and I knew what was going to happen on this side would look cool, but on the other side probably wouldn't even be seen. So I'm trying to blow the pattern that I have done on the backside through to the front so that it will show up on the top. Wasn't doing what I wanted to do. You know, resin has a mind of its own. I'd blow it out and then it come right back. And I wanted to move quickly, not this fast, this is in fast motion, because I didn't want to mess up my mold. So I just kept going, and we'll go back at it. I can just draw through it all the way down. Barely touching, but going deep enough to get to the other side. See you on the other side. See you on the other side. I'm not putting any pressure. Pressure! None. I'm just letting the silicone tool do its thing. I was letting the silicone tool do its thing, and you'll see when I unmold later on that some of that pattern went through, but not like I wanted. So I'm in my mind formulating what to do in case it's not what I want. So yeah, so here's some music. And it's a copyrighted tune, so I probably ought to stop. Yeah, so I just am trying to blow that pattern that I drew in through with this heat gun. Now, let that cure up before I put some clear on top of that. And I'll clean up my mess, and I'll come back at you later. Mixed up some more resin, and I added this emerald intense color. It's very strong. It's not a paste, but it's a really thick dye, and it comes from Counterculture DIY. So I didn't put much in here, and it almost looks black, but I'm gonna just cover the bottom. This deep green looks really cool, but I didn't mix up enough. But you can see its translucency, but it is still very dark. And I just wanted a different color on the bottom instead of it looking, I mean, this looks cool, but I wanted it to be green, just 'cause. Come on, finish pouring out of there. Okay, so you see that I am out. I will mix up a little bit more and I'll fill those other two, and I'll come back to you when those are cured up. Yep. And these are all cured up now. Which one should I start with? Let's go with the one in the middle. This is the first time I've used this mold. I've used this mold before, but not this smaller one. And these little ones I've used. These molds have braces on the bottom to keep them from collapsing. Well, there is this, and it's still a little bendy. I don't know if you saw that or not. What I am planning on doing, this is not finished. We've got some waves here, but not as good as I would like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer of very pale blue resin down, and then do some waves on top of that. So these will be embedded. And like I said, the striations never did happen like they were on the back. Bummer. I was hoping they would come out better. But, you know, doing waves from the bottom up, not always the easiest. Pretty colors. You couldn't see this one in the camera very well, but so I will mix up that other resin. That was an optical illusion. That, to me, it looked like it was bending way in, but it's not. That is strange. Look how that looked to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a layer, and I'm going to go the whole thing very, because these don't have the biggest lip. Now this one has a deeper one than these others, but put a thin layer, and I might even put some sand on this area. Yeah, I'll mix up the resin and figure that out as we go. But there were a couple spots where there were some bubbles apparently on this one, not on this. And there's one on this one, so I'll be able to fill those over with that next layer of resin. So cool. You want to go to the beach on holiday weekend? Well, this is the next best way to do it. I'll come back after a while when I get all that resin mixed up and the sand on hand. Yep. I found some, well, you can't see it, light brown craft sand. And I put that, is very fine, and I put that in the ends. And I have some little starfish, and I have some abalone, broken pieces of abalone. But what I'm going to do right now is a little bit of this clear. I'm going to go right over the top of the sand to hold it in place. Por mientras, that means just for the time being. Because I don't want the colors necessarily that I'm going to be putting in to overtake too much on this sand. Yeah, it'd probably be easier if I just pour a little bit. And I'll give that a mix in just a second. And then what leftover I have of this clear, I'm going to mix some more white to make a few more waves. So I pour in just a little bit of clear and save a little bit of that clear left to mix in the white, and I'll mix that sand up with that clear. Okay, I've got that white mixed up. Now I'm going to bring this clear back over the top of this sand, get it thoroughly mixed up. I didn't want to mix a whole bunch of sand and clear, because talk about Bubble City. No, can I have that? Hear a mockingbird outside and some mourning doves. That right there is the mockingbird. I don't know if you can hear it. Right there, he's imitating a person. I live in an area in the United States that if you are a bird watcher, this will probably be one of your stops, because this is a major flyway for many migrating birds. Cranes, hummingbirds, yeah, even hummingbirds migrate. Mockingbirds don't, but when other birds come to town, they start sounding just like them. During the winter months, I had never seen an influx of red-winged blackbirds, which have a distinct call. Well, the mockingbirds figured it out, and they started. I'm like, oh, really? Fascinating birds. Those that mimic myna birds, lyrebirds, mockingbirds, different types of parrots. Very fascinating. Now the cool thing is, since these are not in any mold at this point, afterwards I can go over this with a torch and not be afraid of burning my mold up. Okay, keep that out. Okay, go to the deep end and I go with a really dark blue. This is Let's Resin Sapphire resin dye, not alcohol ink. Sorry, that one is not in your picture very well. Let me just leave that set right there while I do the next one. And this is Sky Blue by Let's Resin. And then I'm going to try and use my heat gun and push that around a little bit. It's awfully strange how, I don't know if they're high spots or it's just recalcitrant that they don't want to go right there. No, it did. Just get it started over there and then it'll move. Now the fun one. See if I can make this go the whole way. I'm getting some kind of messages on my phone. That's what that ding is. Just in case you were wondering. Craziness. Might be pictures of the grandkids. Don't know. Let me go turn that volume down. There, got the volume down. Get a bit of heat on this, it'll make it move a little easier. And I didn't add too much resin to where you lose the capability of this being a tray with the side. Okay, now let's try a little bit of, try and go over where I had the waves to begin with. And then be able to blow those out and get a little bit better wave action or lacing. I'm going to give it a 3D look. I hope. Well, I got an extra little wave there. I'll have to make something of it. Make something out of it. Getting to the drip right quick. Happening right there. Oh, I got him. And I'm not putting those shells down until after I do the wave blowing them out, because I don't want to have the shells get covered over by white. They're kind of pretty shells. They came out of a kit that I got at Hobby Lobby, I think is where I got it. And that is a craft store we have here in the United States. Now I don't know what they have in across the pond or way down under. I come from the land down under. Yep, we even listened to that. I'm going to try blowing out these small ones first because they have less amount in them, and those other ones have a little bit deeper, and they should blow out a little easier. Okay. Trying to get my stick cleaned off so that I can use it again. That sound is a grackle. Talk about an annoying bird. People around here don't know the real names for birds and stuff, and so they call it a crow. It is not a crow. It's black, that is true. But it is not a crow. I'll blow it one way and then I'll come back the other way. Say that, I need to turn this sideways so I can get it. Oh, we got some cells taking place now. Getting them activated. I don't know if you can see the cells happening. I sure can. Look at that right there. And up in here. This is what I was hoping would happen on the bottom side when I did it, but it didn't blow out like that. Maybe sitting on top of silicone didn't help. Maybe I needed a little bit more clear down. I'm going to have to move this guy over a bit because I'm going to have to turn this one on its side. Gives these waves a cool 3D effect. The undertow with the white underneath, and then the overtow. There is no such thing as an overtow. I'm going to pull that back. I'm afraid I'm going to drag it right in the middle of the... Okay, that looks pretty cool. There's that extra little wave that dropped off the stick. I've got this on low. I don't want to blow it real hard and then have resin go slapping across the desk, this work area. That would not be good. Okay, that looks pretty stinking good to me. Now, abalone. These are shards that broke off of a larger piece that I had purchased for my turtle that I did a nightlight with. I don't know if any of you have seen that video, but it's really cool. Oh, hello. Turn over. And these are going to be sticking up just a little bit, which is fine. And then I got some little shells. And I'm going to put all of these things over here in the sand area, so if somebody wants to use the dish, see, I got a whole package of little shells. And a chunk of sponge. I don't know what I would do with that. But these shells are colored. The shells in that packet are different colors, and I was trying to get some that would go with each other, along with the color scheme that was already present with the abalone shell that's there, and the sand color, and the other colors. There was some red and green and yellows and such, and so yeah. And then in just a little bit, can't forget those starfish that I have set out ready for this occasion. So that one flipped over on me, crazy thing. And here come the starfish. Now these have little sharp points, and I have to do something later. You'll see the message. There. And I'll just let them cure up. Cool. Well, if you can't go to the beach, you got your tray. Okay. Thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you to those who have bought me a coffee. I love coffee. Hint, hint, hint. Still on the rise. I went over 1,000 subscribers last week, and that number keeps going up, which is really cool. Thank you for the support, and I will get some still pictures of these after they cure up. Yep, cool.